TikTok's failed rapture.
Watching this right now, it means one and one thing only. You've officially missed the rapture. Your sins caught up to you and you didn't make the bus to heaven. Whether that was you stealing gum from the front of the register, thinking the cashier wouldn't notice, scooting to maximum capacity while your ancestry line watched in horror, and the world has officially turned to hell. You didn't really need a rapture to realize that, let's be honest. Wars happening every month, countries getting burned to the ground every other week, the country of Israel, Labubu's, it was bound to implode on us eventually. But first we gotta start where this all came from and where every biblical accuracy always comes from. TikTok. Before that too, I also want to explain what the rapture even is for people that aren't Christian or just may not know it. The rapture is the belief in Christianity that at the right time, Jesus will come back and take all his believers from earth to heaven. And there's supposed to be some major signs happening on earth that it may be happening soon. One being increased wars, famines, and natural disasters. A decline of morals and people becoming more greedy and violent. A rise of the Antichrist, whether that be Trump, Mr. Beast, or Caillou. I mean, we fit right in the description for it to happen anytime soon. I do think it's funny though that you can fit a lot of these things in basically any time in humanity. And look, as y'all know, I am a Christian, I am a believer. But if you think this time we're in right now is even close to how bad certain times were in the past, someone from the 1930s would be begging to come to this time. They had the Great Depression, the rise of Adolf, Stalin purging his whole country, the Spanish Civil War. Meanwhile, our 2030s is gonna be filled with consumerism with AI robots that work half the time. One of the first things they tell you in Christianity though is that no human being will be able to know except God when it's gonna happen. There's also sectors of Christianity that believe people completely misinterpreted what was said and the actual rapture people imagine isn't ever gonna happen. It was more metaphorical. But even in sectors that do believe it, there are multiple verses stating this, one being Acts 1:7, which says, when the disciples asked Jesus about the timing, he said, it is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority. You can't get more clear than that. He basically said, shut up and wait, little bro. So I don't know why people on TikTok or in general are just believing in a random rapture date that someone gives. I think the only way they consume the Bible is if an AI gives them a short summary of it. The reason this one got so big was because a South African preacher named Joshua McKellar went on an interview and said he had a vision of Jesus and he straight up told him that the rapture is going to happen on the 23rd to 24th of this September. And well, I'm writing this video on the 23rd, which is one of the days he gave, and nothing's happened. And I'm going to be editing this on the 24th of September, which is the last day. Meaning if it doesn't happen in that time frame, he's a fraud. Shocker.
You're 100% confident.
100% does not do it for me. I'm a billion% sure.
Niggas just be yapping. Hey man, typical African, always lying.
So I've seen Jesus on the in 2018, and he gave me the rapture date of the 23rd and the 24th of September, and I did not die. You know. So I'll be doing a live in this channel, Medic for Christ. Medic for Christ will be, what do you call it, corresponding.
Ah, yes. Just what we needed in the rapture. Somebody streaming it for everybody else on earth who are burning in eternal hell to be caught up on it. Maybe they can get some subs to make it to heaven. People on TikTok have absolutely zero research ability. I think they gotta implement community notes like they did on Twitter to combat misinformation, because this is just insane. It would take you like 2 seconds to skip to any part of this interview with this guy and realize he's insane. And he's doing it just to get clout for his YouTube channel. Like who the shouts out their YouTube channel if the rapture's gonna happen? Gang, you're not gonna need it anymore. I'm sure people on earth will notice people floating up all of a sudden. And his prediction comes from a video on YouTube of this random channel interviewing him on a podcast. It's not even like he's some established pastor around the world that has predicted multiple things. Bro just popped up on an interview and people assumed he was one of Jesus' disciples. It got so big they created a whole movement with it, calling it Rapture Talk and Rapture Now
We are living in end times.
On TikTok, where people of course had to do away with their final things they wanted to leave on earth and to say their goodbyes. This one lady was kind enough to leave Bibles for the rest of y'all that stayed in hell.
Hey guys, all right, what did I do today to prepare my home for the people that are left behind? Let me show you. I got these at the Dollar Tree.
So you think the niggas that's left behind gonna need Bibles? Sorry, if you don't leave a nigga a switch.
I just wrote
it's
these.
It's gonna be hell on earth. And I mean, you know what? Leaving the Bible is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But man, come on, bro. Nigga, something going on. She trying to help us get up there with her? Hey, man. The way the rapture's worded, ain't no getting up there once you get left, nigga. The final bus is the final bus. If you don't make that final bus.
Here, like little notes. I also bookmarked some scriptures. There's the scriptures for you.
These kind of videos make me feel kind of bad because she
What's up,
seems
Syntax?
well-meaning, but it's so off the mark. It also shows how hopeless we are now because are just trying to leave already. When I see people like this, I know they have some trauma they never dealt with, and this is the road they end on. Every religion always has its religious fanatics that go off the deep end more than the average follower, which is why I really think those mega churches are so exploitative and disgusting. They take these people's traumas and have them come to their church where they act like they have all the answers. They can cure your broken foot by waving their hand over it because God personally gave them the power to do it. Then they end up buying mansions and private jets, all while none of their money gets taxed. We gotta talk about more how much that's a hack. Does the IRS even look into these type of churches? Kenneth Copeland famously cured COVID though, so I think he should keep his mansions and jets.
COVID-19!
COVID-19.
Burn!
This gotta be the Antichrist. I refuse to believe this man is a real preacher. There's not a single interview you'll see with him where his face looks comforting at all. Africa, funnily enough, has a ton of these type of false preachers where they kind of just say and people believe it. And over there, it's way more likely in less developed parts for people to believe whatever the pastor says. When I say they can say anything, they can say anything. Which is why you got people like Joshua pop up so often over there. There's this one famous clip where a preacher said, if you don't see him in heaven, you're in hell.
If you get to heaven, write this down. You get to heaven and you don't find me there, you have gone to hell. That's not heaven.
I'm gonna be honest, I wish I had this level of confidence to lie and bullshit like this. Do y'all think they ever wonder what's actually gonna happen when their time comes to an end? Like when they gotta confront God and tell him why they lied on his name?
Because a lot of them niggas don't really believe in God, bro. They just understand that the Bible is the most powerful book ever written in mankind. And they use it to their own, what's the word? Negative benefits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my bad with all that fake preaching, and I know that's a crazy mortal sin to do. But do you mind if I go through the gate still?
Ain't that crazy? It's insane, bro.
It's crazy.
What was the population of heaven? 1,600. Hell. Hey, listen, man. I'm not one to, like, you know what I mean, judge or nothing. But if heaven is really based on the book, like they say it is, a lot of niggas ain't making it, bro. And I mean a lot of niggas ain't making it. You might, listen, all dogs go to heaven. All unborn babies. Listen, a lot of niggas ain't making it, gang. Yo, hey, man. Listen, chat, can you imagine?
Some lady sold her house for $10K because of the Rapture.
She's an idiot, and I don't feel bad for idiots. Listen, chat, can you imagine shit really hit the fan and you looking over and you see Glock and 22 down there, and you see Nessa and Nina down there, and you like, damn, ain't nobody making up? And then you look up and you see me looking down at you. And I'm looking at you niggas like, try to save me. I'm looking down at niggas like, I'm looking down at niggas like, it's hot down there. Make sure you pack sunscreen, nigga. Nigga said I'm a snitch. He already know what I am.
How do we tell you going where Lil Nas going?
It's crazy how far they come though, and how their churches keep
Lil Nas X?
growing and growing. It's not like Kenneth Copeland woke up one day being a mega church pastor with a $300 million net worth. He had to gain trust from a large public sector. There was also another big rapture they predicted back in 2011, which makes it funnier that people believe the one now. And that one, as you can
Imagine
guess,
thinking you in
completely
a bright and sunny place and they got this nigga TK looking at you side by side asking, so you breaking up rocks too,
which
or
on
you with
average
the
had
torture
2 to
niggas?
3 million listeners at a certain point, started his own prediction of the rapture date, saying it was gonna happen on May 21st, 2011. Of course people believed it. In fact, I think misinformation was even worse back then. Like, we know it's bad now and spreads quicker, but we have ways to combat it quickly. At that time, people had limited reach for things they could communicate with, and it was still less common. You can see the moments recorded when people realized it was a lie. If you see Rich Major or Glock you in the wrong place.
If you see Shun you in the wrong place.
World was shattered.
A little let down. I went on a spending spree, went out, partied hard last night. Didn't work out. Now I gotta go get a few more hours.
Yeah, so for the people that said without having phones and social media we were better at interpreting information, that was 100% false. The difference between him and Joshua though is that he had money to do it. So he went out buying billboards and doing all types of advertising to tell people it was happening. Driving around cars to advertise that the day was coming. Imagine believing in another faith or being an atheist and seeing something like this. You probably just looked at it for a second, then continued on with your day. And just like with the most recent Rapture, people took it and ran with it. People sold their cars and quit their jobs, which I don't understand the car part because it won't really matter if you're going to heaven if you sell your car. Like, those dollars ain't gonna get you in heaven. Everything's gonna be free. Unless they got vending machines up there, and if you're unholy, you're gonna have to pay for things. Once the day came and nothing happened, he did apologize for the mistake, but the damage was done. I don't understand why these preachers ruin their whole careers over fake rapture dates like this. Especially since he was well established. He could have ran things like normal day to day and made good money until he died. But he wanted a viral moment and cooked his company, which eventually shut down. No one's gonna believe anything you say after lying on something this huge. Going back to Joshua though, apparently now he has a brand new vision of the rapture. How's he getting all these visions every day? You would think he's God's right-hand man. If he keeps milking due dates of a rapture and somehow still makes money, he's got the method. I don't know how anybody's never thought of that before. You could come up with a new date and say God gave you a new vision of a different date. Then you could say the old date was wrong the whole time and God was just practicing how devoted you are.
The Lord is going to clarify, you know? He's going to clarify everything, because some people do think that I'm deceived or I've seen something else but not Jesus. Rapture me to heaven. This was a couple of years ago. And, you know, I went in a dream and moved to the location where God wanted me to be.
God gave me a vision that TK will start an OnlyFans. Nigga, that was the devil and he lying to you.
Angel, not Jesus, but an angel came with a chariot.
Bro, this is something straight out of Cinderella. Was he in a dress and had glass slippers too? He's describing the experience like how movies portrayed in Hollywood.
I was taken and I was in this chariot and it started to fly right up to the sky with me, and I could see the blue sky.
What's up, Protect?
You know, and I could feel the joy because I knew that I was going to heaven.
This why I hate Africans? Whoa, not Moroccans.
It happened that while I was feeling the joy, before we could go through the sky into space, I started to feel a sadness within me. And this time
religious psychosis got these niggas in a chokehold, especially them African and MAGA niggas.
Within me. And this sadness was because in the dream, in that moment, while I was being raptured, I had not
this
told
is Nigerian, right? The land of the scammers.
People that I know the day Jesus is coming to rapture the church.
This whole scenario sounds hilarious because how was he getting sent to heaven and then told God's angels, no, you must stop. I must tell people on earth when the time is. There is no human being that could stop an angel from doing its task. And I love how it's a dream now. There's multiple interviews where he said it's a dream, then a vision, then a real experience where he's personally met Jesus.
Nigga
Jesus
keeps
must
saying
really
he
hate
see
his
a
ass to
vision
keep
that's
sending
just
him
God
back.
letting him know when he randomly drop and see Lil Jeff and King Von next to him. Don't be surprised.
Though. You got people on TikTok now coping that it hasn't happened and are coming up with alternative reasons to why it hasn't. This one dude's new excuse is because it's Rosh Hashanah hasn't ended, which is the holiday for Jewish New Year. And by the time you're watching this, it's probably ended.
Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Like, I know this is going to happen. Please, everything, and I tell you guys, everything is pointing towards this date. We still have time. And I'm like, the Lord is continuously sending me signs, yo, like, guys, like, truthfully, I'm telling you guys, man.
Nah, getting raptured at McDonald's being your last meal is nasty work. You wouldn't want to go all out and get the most exquisite dinner on your final day? Anyways, that's gonna be it. Let me know what y'all think about this. We honestly got an all-star coming together and talking about what we're gonna do now that we're left behind to survive. Follow me on Twitter.
Brother in Christ. You know what the rapture really is gonna be? In my opinion, it's gonna be some hell on earth shit. That's what the rapture is gonna be. People are gonna pass away, and then whoever's left alive going real life living like some real hell on earth shit, and you gonna wish you was dead. You know what I mean? That's the rapture, nigga. Ain't no, oh, people start floating in the air and shit. Nah, bro. It ain't gonna be nothing crazy. It's gonna be nuclear fallout. So an apocalypse, essentially, bro, the end of times, the end of mankind, bro, the apocalypse. Is you literally gonna wish you was dead, bro. That's it. And everybody who passed before, you gonna be like, wow, them niggas, they had to deal with this shit. Armageddon, basically, bro. Whatever that is, bro. Whether it's a zombie apocalypse, alien invasion, nuclear fallout, whatever. That's the rapture, nigga. That's when niggas gonna sit there and be like, oh, this is what he was talking about.